Maybe, I guess it kind of goes hand in hand, but I would say make sure you love this shit.
Yeah.
Make sure you like wake up and that's going to make you be consistent. Like, make sure you're not doing it because you think it's cool, because, I mean, who thinks podcasting is cool? There's none of that.
Lame.
Because you think it'll pay people. Yeah, because you think it'll get you money, you'll become successful. Make sure you enjoy it, and then that will lead to the consistency being way easier.
We gonna top bigs on this one here. You know what I'm talking about? Big. Fuck this, man. I heard investment make the Forbes list. Amazon, the Rock Nation made investments itself. Go buy the building, don't be worried about the door split. Even if the mission get hard, you can't avoid it. You see me getting money, well, I'm just expressing myself. It's harder building on your own, you always welcome to help. Build a mastermind group works in Napoleon Hill. You know. All
right, guys, we're back in again for another amazing episode of Change Agents. My name is Caleb.
I'm Johnny Cochran.
You know what I'm saying? He's not playing.
Shout out.
This is Trav. All right, cool. We have two amazing guests, man. We have the hosts of One More Time podcast, man. We got Ben and Henry. You know what I'm saying? How you guys doing today, bro?
Dude, doing great. It was a goal of ours to start doing other podcasts, right? We were like, all right, 2023, we want to actually be on other people's podcasts as opposed to just being the host. So this is the first stop on that journey, and so we're excited to have it with you.
We the first one?
Okay, all right, let's go.
This is the exclusive.
Let's go.
Hey, they signed over all their royalties.
Right.
Yep.
So like, what was the kind of origin story kind of getting into podcasting? I know you guys had like a prior relationship, friendship. Like, where did that kind of start?
Almost not even really is the funny part.
Yeah.
Wow. It kind of happened at the same time.
Wow.
Like you guys.
Yeah.
Just got done mentioning off camera.
Yeah.
You've gotten pretty good at telling the story. I feel like you've told it a couple times. So.
Oh God, you're just putting this on me already. Like, this is how it works with us. This is how it works with us.
This is partnership.
Yeah.
right.
It's certain stuff I'm just gonna let Caleb talk about.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be like, what he said.
Yeah. Literally, this is my thing, and then Henry does his thing.
Yeah.
But it was literally, Henry's a producer engineer, so he has a studio where he runs sessions out of there.
100%.
And so I just had a friend who was like, an aspiring rapper, didn't really want to like take anything seriously, but he was just like, yo, I want to record these songs. And
shout out Trey though, he has bars.
Yeah, he does. He does have bars, but like he also has a PhD in math, so like,
wow,
you can assume he's
the
not
math wasn't math.
He's not taking music, as serious as his career in mathematics. But
got it.
But no, it was really just like he knew that I had been in the music space before, so I put on concerts in college. So I was like in the music industry or the closest thing to it. So I went to UNC Chapel Hill, go Tar Heels.
Oh, word.
Yep.
That's what's up.
I'm a Tar Heel born and raised. Shut up, Henry.
You know what I'm
saying? And so basically like
4 thumbs down.
Yeah, like he just knew that I was the closest thing. Are you a Dookie or something? Like, oh God! All right, interview's over, bro.
The crazy thing is, that's my Carolina blue car in the garage.
I was literally commenting about that.
Wow.
The car is so fire that I had to ignore that it's USC colors.
Because Duke blue is ugly. It's fine. But
I'm gonna go with Michael Jordan, but cool. Finish your story.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, it was just basically Trey knew that I was the only thing that like was closest to the music industry, so he hit me up being like, yo, do you know of any like studios to record at? Like he had no clue where to start.
Right.
And so I just hit up my friends that I knew were like in the music scene, and I got referred to Henry's studio. So I just went there on like some friend shit where my homie was recording a song, he was in the booth, and so I was out in the main control room like with Henry.
Yeah.
So naturally I'm not awkward, like we're talking through the, while my friend's like writing.
Even though engineers
recording.
really don't prefer that, like let me do my job.
Right,
over my shoulder a little bit.
Yeah, engineers want you to shut up.
Yeah, were you kind of thinking
You can be
like,
quiet, it's not awkward, it's actually nice. It's peaceful.
It's actually preferred.
He was like, damn, this guy can talk. Let's start a podcast. No,
and that's how it started.
Exactly, and that's it. No. Basically, like, from then, I was fascinated by, like, the recording process. Like, I had only been in maybe, like, one studio session prior to that, and so it was, like, mind-blowing to see Henry working with my friend, coaching him through the recording process. I was, like, watching Henry screen, and, he had his DAW up, Logic Pro. He was fucking flying and doing all this crazy technical shit.
Shit look like Japanese, right?
Exactly. I was like, what kind of like software are we working in, right? And so And so I was just, really just amazed as to like what he had going on. And I was in a really dark spot in life. Like my aunt had just committed suicide. And so I was like fucked up. Yeah. I was fucked up personally speaking.
Yeah.
So when I saw this just glimmer of like excitement.
Yeah.
And I was just like happy for, honestly, like for the longest time prior to that, I hadn't been. I was like, yo, I can't have this be the last time that I do this. Exactly. It's like, how can I come back and be involved in whatever the fuck I'm witnessing right now?
Yeah.
So I just asked him like, yo, I have this business degree from UNC. I used to be in the music space, like putting on concerts.
Yeah.
Like, is there any way that I can just like help you like with what you have going on?
Right.
And so really, it was kind of perfect timing because I feel like your career was like starting to kind of like ramp up to the point where this dude was booked out like weeks in advance recording sessions. He was starting to get like, more production looks, as a producer. He was starting to get more mix engineering looks. This is 2019.
19.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're just like 4 years of even knowing each other, right?
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Right.
But yeah, basically, I assume a quasi-managerial role in his production engineering career. So it's like I started managing Henry and trying to be responsible for like helping him grow his business.
Right.
And so yeah, we do that for a while. Through him, I start working with some other artists, and the management thing is cool, but it's like when you're managing, it's not good.
I'm not gonna let you lie to.
Don't sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
It fucking sucks
For the birds.
It's horrible.
for the fucking birds. And even the highest level managers will tell you like,
Bro,
this shit.
Crazy to rely on someone else's income that you get a small piece of, and that you can get fired at any time. For
At
no
any time.
reason.
At any time.
For nothing.
And you can actually get blamed if they suck.
Absolutely.
yeah.
If they're not doing their job,
Yeah.
it's
They could be
somehow your
talented.
fault.
Yeah.
Hey man.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I love the one artist that I still manage because I'm probably gonna have to manage him for the rest of my life.
Who's that artist?
You guys clip this up so his artist can hear this.
Cantrell.
That is Cantrell?
The best rapper out of Albany behind Jid.
Albany, Georgia.
Hey, I can't compliment you.
Gotta give it to Jid.
I gotta give it to Jid.
No,
hey, say
for
that
sure.
one more time.
What,
Got-
clip up the clip?
No,
for
that you gotta
Cantrell?
give it to Jid.
Oh, you gotta give it to Jid. Obviously.
You should rap more. Okay, finish.
But like a second to Jid is not that bad at this.
Hey.
Jid's basically rap's next superstar at this point. So like Cantrell, even if you're the second, I mean,
Yeah.
shout out
That's
to you.
real. That's real.
That's where I'm from.
That's real.
Second, you last, motherfucker.
If you're not first, you're last.
And I
So,
fucking-
so we're basically, we start brainstorming ways that
Okay.
we can kind of, get more tapped into the industry,
Yeah.
meet more people, let's network, let's get involved with the music industry in Atlanta. And what is every millennial doing these days? They're starting a podcast, right?
Right.
So we had some, we got some iPhone 10s. We
Yeah.
sat around my pool table in the studio, put the cover on, as you're very familiar with.
Yeah.
And we just started inviting people that we knew and talking to people and putting it online.
This is
basically.
where I'm about to defend my boy because I feel like I found a way that you've been disrespectful already.
Okay. Let's talk about it.
You're a sound guy.
Yes.
You did iPhones for the video.
Yeah,
What'd
but
you do for the mics?
Quality, super quality audio.
High-end
Fire audio.
No, it's so funny. Literally, we actually just upgraded our cameras, and it was basically for that exact reason. It was like, damn, our content is fire. The interviews are fire in our minds. The audio quality is fire. The last thing that we're missing is like the
Some real
A1
cameras.
cameras. Yeah.
But just to play devil's advocate, bro.
Thank you.
God,
Thank
he's
you.
gonna-
like,
He's gonna
Thank you,
literally be
like-
like, you just wasted your money.
No,
Thank you,
not that. It's just like what I hate is seeing amazing video and terrible audio.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, so I would I'm glad you guys did what you guys did. Like, the audio was pristine, and then you guys upgraded the video versus the other way around.
Especially
You know what I mean?
podcasting.
Exactly.
It's an
Yeah.
audio
It's
first.
right.
Audio
Exactly.
first.
Exactly.
We happen to be filming it.
Even though video podcasts are now basically the norm, like if you don't have video, what are you doing?
You will still get 4X. We come from the business side.
Yeah.
You'll still get 4X for your actual audio arm of your podcast than you will for the video.
Yes.
The video is the commercial. The audio is the game.
That's crazy. So hold on. So let me make sure I'm understanding this right. So y'all's audio downloads are 4x your YouTube views.
That's
and
not
your...
what I'm saying.
Okay. All right.
That was I would love it.
That'd be great.
What I'm saying is because y'all are independent, right?
Yeah.
When you got consistency, you got great podcast, y'all got great personality, blah, 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 blah. when you get to the point to where the brands come calling, they're way more likely to let you keep your video on your YouTube and pay you this number for it. The audio number is going to be 4X. What you get paid for in podcasting is the audio first. You be like, I don't want to give you my video. They'll be like, okay, cool. But tell them you want to give them the video, but not the RSS feed to the audio, and the deal is over.
Wait, y'all are getting paid in podcasting?
No, but I'm trying to.
Wait, y'all are making money off this shit?
We got a couple situations.
We got some stuff on the table.
Like on the client side, not for this show.
Client side,
I'm sorry, man.
We've got some free products, but no cash.
No, and a lot of that's by design. I don't want to like discount us. We've been very hesitant to directly we've got the fucking funniest brand offers ever. Like just the products that come in here.
Y'all get brand deals?
Yeah, like they're just we haven't done an official one.
Y'all got brand offers?
We have a bunch, but it's
I'm
like
just playing on your joke.
It's the No, we actually have, but it's like the weirdest products. I'm like, how do you even think this makes sense for your brand? I'm like, who's in charge of spending
Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey?
your brand dollars?
Jack boys, let's get it. You know what I'm saying?
Jack gang.
Send the bag.
Jack gang.
Hey, y'all have 7 days or we're cutting this out.
Yeah. It's gonna be blurred by the time it comes out.
But I think that's interesting too, though, right? Because most people, especially in this podcast space where everybody's getting into it, people will take whatever the first deal come in.
Yeah.
Y'all are even conscious relatively early, because we're all in this 2-year space, but you know, just from research, you're relatively early in the game.
Oh yeah.
And you're still like, but that brand doesn't align with what we're doing.
Yep.
So fuck the money.
We've gone this far without making any money. We don't want to step in anything crazy now. It's like And as far as like we've had people offer to pay us to come on the show, but if we don't feel like the guest aligns
with the show,
our audience and our show, and we don't want to do our fans disservice by just getting a couple $100 here, a couple $100 there.
I DM'd y'all and offered $300 after Caleb's episode.
Did you?
Yeah, nobody.
We'll take that.
300 was too late, bro.
Oh,
maybe
man.
add a zero.
It's your bag up.
Maybe add a zero. No, I mean it's true. Like Henry and I are blessed to make money in other places where it's like if we wanted to go full send into the podcast only, we would probably have had to, entertain, because there's tons of platforms that do that. I mean, Dirty Glow Bastards Off the Porch, I love those guys. I love their platform. They're very open about you can pay to be on the platform.
Yeah, so we're the crazy ones because
we are.
I completely.
What's your stance on it?
I love them. We've been on that platform. We didn't pay to go on that platform. Cantrell's been on that platform.
Yeah.
I kind of loathe the pay-for-play mentality.
Yeah.
If I don't want you, I don't want you.
Yeah.
If you don't want me, I don't want you to want me because I can pay you. So like even with us trying to create new series and different creative things in here, from me personally, nothing that we're gonna do, we're gonna let you pay us to do it if we don't like your product. I don't care what it is.
I love that.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be the broke artists. That fought the good fight.
Do you have a business plan? Is there what is the future of change agents? Is there it's just brand deals or
this dude just flipped the
chilling
interview?
and having
flipped
fun?
the interview.
No.
With the camera on? You gonna ask me that with the camera?
What's your 5-year plan, Trav? What's your fucking
My
5-year
plan is to retire from podcasting.
This is a fucking stepping stone.
With a Joe Rogan deal.
Ooh.
God, I know.
Fuck it, swing for the fence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, you mentioned being early on, right? And if you do look at the top of the top podcasters, Theo Von, Joe Rogan, whoever the hell you want to look at, right? They have been doing this 10 years, almost.
And they stay independent for at least 8 of those.
Yeah. And it's just like anyone that's getting into podcasting needs to understand that, sure, can you catch a wave, quickly, potentially? Maybe, right? But the average podcaster that's actually building a serious fan base and an actual business around their podcast, they have been doing it for years and years.
Okay, so how do we feel about Bobby Altoff?
Oh God.
That show is trash, bro.
Dude, we were just looking at the Shaq interview. She got Shaq.
It's about to drop. It's not even out yet. She's teasing it.
Sorry, the clip from the Shaq interview.
I just want to let you know, we saw her interviews and we was like, We gotta get some white guys on the show.
I mean, you know, we're actually the same way, but more about women. We need more women on our shows.
We get told that too, though. But
like, why do you only have males on your show?
Yeah.
Fuck,
no,
I'm sorry.
but I honestly, the crazy thing about Bobby is, it's clear she has relationships behind the scenes that make all this stuff work. Yeah. But I like disruptors.
Yeah.
So
you have to respect it.
I love that once she sticks to her, she stays in character.
Yeah.
She's in her shtick.
She's in her thing. And I love that people get mad about it.
Me too.
Oh.
Every time someone doesn't get it, it makes me happy.
I love it.
All it does is help the algorithm for her too. It's like,
Yeah.
even if I mean, that's even stuff we found. It's like, even if the comments are like 50% hating on whatever our guest is saying, like, you know, honestly, a lot of times it's directed at the guest, but sometimes it's like if we have a clip that's going viral that's like me and Henry only, it's a lot of times like people just upset about whatever the hell we're doing on camera, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's
like,
great when it's natural.
Yeah.
Like we're not forcing the clickable moment.
No.
It's just the natural flow of it.
Yeah.
But I want to get into the
white and black thing?
not quite.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like, you know, you're white, we're not.
Are you? Well,
You're black?
am I? But I like that you managed, right?
Oh my God. I don't.
I'm glad you're saying it, because I put it to you like this. I'll never regret managing artists.
Oh yeah.
As an overall concept. You learn so much about really people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you learn if you really care about what you're doing. I think managing an artist is gonna push you damn near as much as raising a kid. And that's not to call them children, but they kind of act like children. But that's not to call them that. But I think it's interesting to hear, like, what is it about managing artists that lets you know that, okay, this might not be for me as much as I thought it was when I first started doing it.
How about that clip we posted recently?
I mean,
We have a clip for everything.
yeah. I think honestly though, it really is about the time commitment. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head as far as like, you're basically married to this client. Yeah. You are family, right? Like you say children, whatever. It could be children, it could be a child, it could be a brother, it could be a parent sometimes, it could be a cousin, I don't care what you call them, but they're family.
Yeah.
They're changing roles within the family, but they're family, right?
Yeah.
And you have to be basically dedicating your whole life to making sure that they succeed, right? And because in turn you succeed.
Yeah.
Like in a manager role, you're typically not salaried. Like you are commission based, right? And if anyone has ever had a sales job or any sort of commission structured job, you're only reliant on however the successful is of the product, right? And the product is the artist. And so I think that for me, I was just being honest with like myself and my goals and what I was really excited about. And when we started doing the podcast, it was like, I mean, shit, he's even taking time away from making beats, and he was like full send wanting to be a producer full time. And like now he's like borderline just
editing video
all the time. And so for me, it was really a time thing. It was just like,
that's crazy.
How much time's in the day that they deserved more than I was able to give.
Yeah.
I always say, it's gonna sound so bad. A great manager can't have personal goals.
Yeah.
Damn. That
That's
sounds terrible.
sad.
But
That's the reality of it,
that's
though.
the reality of it.
So sad.
All your goals have to be in your client.
All your goals have to be for them.
Yeah.
And
It's a selfless job. It's a selfless job.
selfless, thankless sometimes
Often.
job, right? And it's like even with Cantrell, I think Cantrell is one of the best rappers I've ever heard in my life. And rap has consumed my life most of my life.
Yeah.
So the two just naturally make sense, right? But I can't shoot 50 podcasts a year, help promote this, help run a studio, be a dad, help do some of the other creative narratives, try to help be an asset to Caleb and other stuff that he's shooting, and manage an artist, because I don't have but 5 hours a week at best now if I want to help that artist. And good artists, bad artists, no artist is going to want someone who kind of feels like their goals come before theirs.
Yeah.
And I think that's my biggest conflict with it.
Yeah.
I'd rather, and Caleb helped give me, like, you ever like like settled for the girl that was like a 7. You know what I'm saying? You married. I see the ring. I'm not gonna take it there.
I was like, has my wife ever settled for a guy that's a 7? I mean, yeah, she did. But it's okay. I'm a hell of a dad. You know?
You get a 9 somewhere, right?
I'm a 10 out of 10 dad for sure. Husband, 7's probably better rating. I don't know.
But production helps me serve artists in just as an impactful way without me having to manage them. So it kind of feeds the need and gives me the freedom.
That's beautiful you said that, because it's the same way with the podcast, man. Like, so for me, being able to be still like tangential to the music business, right? By being a podcaster who interviews guests that are like across the spectrum, artists, producers, songwriters, engineers, managers, A&Rs, whatever. Like, that's allowed me, I mean, we've started finally connecting dots for people. Like, we started being like the matchmakers where we like, you know, I just introduced an artist to this A&R that we interviewed, right? And so it's, that for me is exciting.
Yeah.
That's almost like a manager type of thing where it's like you're
A&R maybe.
Yeah, like you're just helping progress the artist's career or progressing the creative's, you know, career. And so that's what's been like satisfying, right? It's some of that same satisfaction that I did get from, you know, managing, because there is some satisfaction. Like when you help an artist roll out a song
and it works,
it's like, it's a drug, you know what I mean? You're like, oh man, like this is fun. You know, there's a lot of not fun things about managing.
Everything else though.
Yeah, everything else sucks, but
we know.
Groupie management.
Yeah.
So what was the process that went into like building out the Cypher that you guys recently launched?
Yeah.
Like what was that like?
It's so funny he brought that up, because it's like, we haven't done one in a while, and you've brought it up.
Now that we have these cameras,
You've brought it up
time.
since we purchased the cameras. He's literally brought it, because we basically had to rely on production crew. It was basically a homie with several cameras to show up and shoot the ciphers, because we didn't want to do it, you know, just on iPhones.
And depending on people sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, just because once again,
well, you said it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
he has a life too. Who knows what's going on?
He's got other goals. He's got professional stuff going on. He's got personal stuff going on. So it was just a matter of like, when you're, I mean, shit. Let's just talk about coordinating with 4 rappers.
Man.
Jesus. You know what I mean? Like, let alone the production crew, right?
Yeah, the location.
Just the 4 rappers is like a monumental task. You know what I mean?
Congress.
Like, getting one rapper to show up to an interview.
I don't know if Congress can do it.
I don't even know
They can't, for sure.
Like getting them all in the same room at on the same day at the same time is impossible. Like,
it's literally you've done
and in a good mood.
Yeah.
Right.
And ready to deliver a high quality performance, right? I mean, because you've done it with shooting music videos, right? If you have multiple artists, I mean, I even, you know, PA'd at a shoot with like Spillage Village, who you've done videos with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, just getting that many artists on set, on time,
it's tough, man.
ready to go,
Shout
dressed.
out Chad T, by the way.
Yeah, shout out Chad Tenney's, a One More Time alumni for sure.
Yeah.
Chad, I didn't get an invite to the wedding. Congratulations.
Oh, he got married? I didn't get an invite either. It's fine. Yeah.
Congrats, Chad.
I'm always finding where I'm not loved, so I can point it out, so I can be loved.
That's like my favorite thing to do.
Especially in front of people. It's very awkward. It's
On
like,
camera?
Yeah.
It's the
great.
best.
This is
This is gonna live forever.
I'm chopping this clip up.
Yeah, just sending it straight to Chad. You're not even gonna post it. You're just gonna send it to Chad. I've done that before.
He'll post it.
I'm gonna post it and tag him and Kiki.
Is that his wife?
No, that's his assistant.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, you just made this
Shout out
His
Kiara.
work wife. His work wife.
Just made this awkward. It just made this awkward.
His side piece.
Jesus.
He just got married, guys.
I'm leaning into it.
Are we ruining
I leaned
James?
into it.
I mean,
Oh, my God.
They might identify it. No, I'm just
I mean, you didn't get invited to the wedding. What do you care if it fucking breaks up? You know what I mean?
That'd be good content.
That's funny.
But no, the cipher was like it was a way to like.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chad.
You know, marriage is being ruined aside. Like the cipher
Trying to move it on.
is what we're here to talk
get it back
about.
on
He on
track.
his honeymoon right now. He don't care. It's all
Yeah,
good.
he's not gonna see this.
Yeah.
We're gonna wait 2 weeks.
Make sure he's in front of his phone.
Jesus.
It was a dope thing to do, like
Okay.
with all these new people we had met, a lot of them being artists that could, let them do what they do, and something that maybe didn't have us in it too. We thought that was cool. So just do something
to
that's
not
like,
be the center of attention.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Sounds blasphemous.
You want to be a manager too?
Some cool hip hop.
No, for us,
I'm a producer. I'm behind the scenes for the most part.
It's honestly about. I mean, I'm sure you guys maybe get to scratch this itch with like the production stuff that you do, but like for us, it was really like, hey, what kind of other content can we make that's like supporting the like world that we're building? You know what I mean? And so for us, it was like clearly people that are tapped into our platform are obviously hip hop rap fans for the most part. Like that's the predominant like genre that we've covered, right? Since we started. And so for us, it was really just like, like what would be
some cool shit to do
that's not really being done that much. Like Red Bull, I feel like dropped one recently that was one of the first other than Double XL. It was like who's doing ciphers.
And the Double XL ciphers have been kind of trash lately.
Shout out to Red Bull.
Yeah, shout out to Red Bull. Are they dropping?
I can't say why, but shout out to Red Bull.
Oh shit! Change Agent's got a Red Bull.
No, we're going for Jack. Like,
okay.
You said you were the connectors.
We have no connections to Jack other than spending probably too much money on it.
Man,
for our
we deserve it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Last question, and then I gotta go into the music guy. I really got a bunch of questions, but I gotta figure out how you got from the Triangle to Atlanta.
From UNC?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, so I'm born and raised here.
Oh, okay. So
yeah. So born
you
and raised
made a very bad life decision to leave.
Yeah. No, it was amazing.
Absolutely.
4 years. No, it was really just like my mom's from North Carolina.
Yeah.
She actually played basketball at UNC. So we're like big Tar Heel basketball fans. Like big Tar Heel.
Doesn't even like the NBA. Just Tar Heel
What's your
basketball.
mom's name?
She's way too old for you to probably know anything about her. Shout out to my mom. She'll watch this for sure.
I am a basketball junkie.
Okay, so she was there when it was like Phil Ford and Walter Davis, like right before Jordan. So she was basically like 78 or so, right? So Jordan was like 82.
They didn't even televise the girls' games.
Exactly.
Sorry.
And she actually played in the WNBA before it was the WNBA. So basically it was just called like the Women's Professional League. And then it folded because obviously they could sell no tickets. And then the NBA basically was like, hey, we should do this like...
So 96.
This thing, this thing called the WNBA.
Started 98.
Yeah. And so she was, back in the day. And she coached at the collegiate level at Georgia Tech and Georgia State as well. So like we're big basketball fans. So yeah, it was basically just like,
for me... Tell me who his mom was.
Joyce Patterson's her name.
Joyce Patterson.
Joyce Patterson, yeah.
I think I know who your mom is.
No, you don't.
I'm almost sure, bro.
It's amazing if you do.
I'm almost sure.
Bro, he's a basketball junkie. I wouldn't put it past him.
My stepdad played for Notre Dame. Like I grew up around it, and
wow.
Like no coaches that I shouldn't know that coached in the NBA and overseas and all that shit. I'm like a junkie, bro.
That's awesome. Yeah, no. And so basically it was just, I went to UNC for 4 years, and then it was like, my job opportunity happened to be back here in Atlanta, and then I'm obviously, born and raised here. I love it here. I've seen it grow into like a beautiful thing. I feel like Atlanta's just continuing to grow and continuing to thrive, especially like with the music scene here. I feel like we're poised to be like starting to compete with the New Yorks and the LAs of the world.
We are here.
Yeah, I mean, well, definitely from a film perspective, y'all.
I think even from music, we don't
Music is
do it
like
from music business standpoint, right? We don't have infrastructure.
Exactly, but we're trying. I mean, because you mentioned like, some of the labels here, it's incredible, like the independent labels. I mean, we interviewed an artist called 1K Few. He's on Reach Records.
Yeah. Caleb shot the video that got a Grammy and all this other stuff.
Oh, wow. Well, we just
had to drop that out there. What up?
We just interviewed him.
It got nominated for the Stellar Awards.
Why you had to clean it up, bro?
Let the Grammy thing.
Grammy sounded, I guess, cooler.
I mean, the Stellar Awards is the Grammys of gospel music.
CHH?
Gospel.
So gospel rap, exactly. So like, there's Reach Records, there's Since the 80s, there's Quality Control, there's freaking...
Shout out Zeke and Barry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Congrats, Zeke got married last week,
too.
He did.
I wasn't invited to that wedding.
I think Zeke and Chad got married the same day.
Yeah.
In Colombia.
On the same day.
You were 0 for 2 for wedding invites.
Fucked up, bro.
This is like, why do I interview these guys?
Why you say fuck me for?
Why do I interview these guys if I can't get invited to their weddings? That's the only thing we're trying to do here.
Yeah, the open bar was the whole point, I think.
In Colombia, too?
Well,
bro.
I did just go interview Barry and not Zeke, so.
Barry did an interview?
Oh, wow. He doing interviews?
I didn't know that. Seems like.
Yeah, with Elliot. Wait, it's not out yet.
Gotcha.
Oh, he did a Rap Radar interview.
No, it's not a Rap Radar. I would never say that.
It's just an Elliot Wilson
Hey, just
interview.
relax.
What is exclusive?
All right, I'm a DM Barry after this.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny.
I'll show it to you.
He's like a walking podcast, but yeah, he
Bro,
won't do a podcast.
He's fucking insane. He's also from Albany.
Really?
So,
Quiet as kept.
oh, okay. So he just moved
It's
to
all of us.
Pittsburgh?
Huh?
So he just moved to Pittsburgh? Because I know he's like Pittsburgh too, right?
Him and Jid's family are from Albany.
Oh,
And of course me. And
Well, you're the most important one from there.
Nah, Deion Sanders.
Okay. That's true.
Dean me.
Dion, Trav, Jid.
So Henry, I more so got a question for you, bro. Like,
Oh, let me get to. Okay.
yeah.
Hey, can you take the wrapper off?
Jack boys.
Yeah. Until they
Can you just cover the
drop the bag.
It's in the bag.
Yeah.
So like, bro, like, you said something profound, like, to
He
me,
did?
in my opinion, bro, like, just the stat that y'all been dropping an episode every Thursday for the last 2 years.
Yeah,
I didn't hear that wrong, right?
Yeah,
Like,
you did not.
2 years
Hey.
plus.
So like, bro,
Never missed a week.
Never. We've actually done 2 a week, some weeks.
Black people suck.
All right, for the record, we didn't say that. For the record, us white people did not say that.
man, we just interviewed another guest about consistency, bro. Like,
Were they white?
No.
Oh, okay, I don't know.
She
I
was
was
black,
just-
but we
I was
just
just-
no. I'm with
We don't
you,
know what
but,
she identify as.
But it's just dope to just see like you guys just be that consistent. Like every week on the week, it's a new interview, it's a new clip, it's new something.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I know that's coming from you to edit that. Like, so prior to this project and everything that y'all been doing with the podcast, were you an editor before that, or did you kind of learn on the fly?
Absolutely fucking not.
And that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying, like, so what was that process that went into kind of like taking the reins and being like, all right, this is what I got to do?
We agreed pretty early that consistency was going to be something that we had to live by or die by, I believe.
It was going to be everything for us.
Yeah.
We just saw too many people that were inconsistent, and that was almost just like, you can't be taken seriously, I
Yeah,
think.
disrespect. That's on our own podcast.
I didn't say the change agent's consistency was an issue. But
Yeah.
This is fun for me.
yeah.
And I think we realized too that that content in general is very subjective.
Yeah.
So we try not to overthink like, is this clip good? Was this interview good? Like what, cause we're just two guys. We have our opinions. I'll take all day to edit a clip that flops, and then I'll kind of like hurry a clip that I'm like, whatever, we need to post today, and it catch.
Yeah.
So we try to think less and less about that and
Yeah.
think about the consistency as being the number one thing.
Got it.
And just rely on, hopefully if all the other cogs are spinning, then stuff's gonna start catching. And that's what's been happening for us so far.
So let me say this too. So before I like really started doing anything with video, I used to like make beats in FL Studio. I don't even think I told y'all that.
shit.
I've
Okay.
never known that.
Bro,
Yeah.
this is
That's a classic story,
shattering
though.
news.
I actually could have guessed that.
DJ Freaky C is a real person.
But like,
Caleb on the beat.
so I never called myself like a producer, but like I was a beat maker like in college. Like I used to like, chop up samples and all that shit.
shit.
Like I used to do all that shit in college just for fun
Dang.
Yeah.
type shit. So that helped
nigga
me.
is Superman.
It made the process of like editing in Adobe Premiere like even easier because
Yes.
I was familiar with like how to kind of break everything down in FL Studio. So
Yes.
do you have a similar story that you
Absolutely.
would say?
And
Yeah.
not because Apple's not dropping the bag either, but I got to give
Right.
them some credit
Yeah.
for going from Logic to Final Cut to
Yeah.
Apple programs. They have obviously a very delicately crafted ecosystem.
Yeah.
So going from one to the other, I mean, some of the key commands even,
Yeah.
it would be just
the
something
same,
that
yeah.
I would just like, well, if it was me, I would hopefully make this do that, and it does. I'm like, oh shit! Like, and then I'm just flying
Yeah.
through it before long. So shout out to Apple. Hit me up.
Yeah, and honestly, for us, I think we really hit our stride. We were kind of dividing and conquering. It was almost like, Henry, you do some clips.
Yeah.
I'll do some clips. Like I was even in Final Cut, bro, which
Damn.
is a fucking joke when I really like look back at it. It's like who trusted
anymore.
me to be?
I'm in Premiere.
Who trusted us?
He started editing this year, bro. Like, we all hands on deck, man. Like,
Yeah,
you know?
and I think that's good, but for us, it was really like when we started to finally like hone in on like what our skill set actually is. Like Henry doesn't like the coordination, the scheduling, the like communication, following up. I mean, dude, to book a guest, it takes like 30 fucking follow-ups to finally get someone to show up on a certain day at a certain time. Like he doesn't even see that because he doesn't want to really see that. And that's great. And for me,
I think he's just making his job sound hard.
No, I know your job's harder, 100%. Your job is harder, and your job is like what really, this is the engine, man. The content is the engine. Like for podcasters,
it's our product.
It's our product.
Yeah.
Right? And so then we started looking at it, and it was like, I was just being honest with myself. Like, look, like your content is better than the content that I'm making.
Yeah.
It was just looking at it, like looking at ourselves in the mirror, being like, mine's not as good as what you do.
Right.
The captions that he would put in the posts are better than mine. The copywriting is better than what I do.
Right.
So we were like, shit, like maybe let me double down on like the strategy and operations and like the running of the business and like helping us set goals. Cause like he's really good about like when we decide on a goal and like, maybe I come to him with like, hey, I think we should be doing X, Y, Z. He's gonna deliver. Like this dude's not gonna, like he's gonna put in the fucking work to achieve whatever it is that we set out. But he's not necessarily always thinking that way, right?
Yeah.
So I think when we finally like divided and conquered and really, because this is how companies run. The CMO and the COO are not doing the same fucking jobs at Fortune 500 companies.
Exactly.
So when we started to treat ourselves more like a business of like, hey, what are you good at?
Yeah.
And what am I good at? That's when like it started to get pretty fun.
I kind of suck at both, so like.
I'm like, I'm kind of embellishing a bit about what I'm good at. You know what I mean? But his content's fire though. So
I'm good at like telling people how great Caleb is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got the shit down. It's easy.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
What is coming from an engineering standpoint? Is doing podcast engineering more boring or like more interesting than sitting through raps? Because I've been in a million sessions.
Yeah,
it might be me. I might be crazy. It's a lot of bad. When you're an engineer or when you're somebody who has to live in the studio, you listen to a lot of bad music.
A lot.
So I'm sure that can drive you crazy too.
Damn, bro.
But
he's so right. Even good songs have like, dude, the average fan has no idea what it took to get the song to where
the studio's not sexy.
The studio
not a sexy place.
Sucks on them. Like
it's the work. Look, by the time we got to my 5th project with Kentrell, I'm like, hey, when you have 90% done, I'm coming to the studio.
Let me know when it's 90%.
Facts.
I'm not coming for the 18-hour day and 2 verses.
No.
Bro.
I'm just not doing it.
Right.
So which one is easier or harder or more fun?
I want to hear this.
The being on the podcast is definitely more engaging, I would say. Time kind of goes by faster. I guess that would maybe mean it's more fun.
From a straight engineering perspective.
Yeah, like
because you're mixing our episodes.
Yeah. Oh, that's easy. Mixing the podcast audio is pretty easy for me.
Do you do it for other podcasts?
No, but I would love to. Hire me.
You just gonna say fuck X?
My bad, X.
I thought we were agreeing off camera that the whole crew was temporary.
No, that's everybody but X. That's just the studio
now
crew.
Now that's gonna be all of them.
The assistant.
Okay.
You can't ever get rid of the sound guy.
Yes.
You can't ever get rid of the sound guy.
For a podcast, you're right. The sound guy is pretty important.
I also am kind of blessed to be in a point now where I don't just engineer for anyone. I've kind of been able to narrow down my time. Like he said when I met him, it was like, you're paying me $50 an hour, come on in. I don't care what your name is, what we're working on. And I'm also the type of engineer that is kind of hands-on. I do a lot more than, I'm not the robot that, presses R and waits for his next command.
I don't know any engineers like that because they don't normally stay in the room.
They leave?
No, what I'm saying is, like when you're going to different studios, because like Cantrell used to record everywhere. We recorded projects in California, New York, and just like in Atlanta, you bounce from studios, you have certain relationships.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, the engineers that don't really collaborate with the recording, they don't stay in the room long. Like you don't have a client base where you could be booked out 4 weeks in advance.
Yeah.
So it's not just, hey, I know how to slide the audio back here and do this. It's
the extra value you bring to the table,
Yeah.
which in my mind is production. It's
Yeah.
vocal production.
Yeah.
Am I getting production points on these songs?
Oh, God.
No.
Should.
I think I should too.
Need a manager.
Look what you've done, Trav.
It won't be us.
Trav, look what you've done.
It won't be us.
You open up this fucking can of worms, Trav.
I don't think there's a lot of things in the music industry that aren't very modernized.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it at that.
So how much do y'all touch the audio though? Or how much does X, I would say, like mix the, you know what I mean? How much do y'all mix the audio and like edit the audio and stuff?
Every single one. Early on, at first we wasn't, and it never failed, man. We would have like one or two good, clean audios, or at least what we felt like was clean at the time, and then like X went here, and then we'll be missing audio. We have dropouts, or it's not enough. A mic or die, or it's not enough low end. It's like it's so many different things.
We've had so many not so many, thank God, but like we've had our fair share of
shit happens, bro.
When
you're doing it on your own.
Camera ran out of storage, even though we thought we checked it.
And then like from you, because you're not an engineer, just like I know the end product.
Yeah.
Because we had artists. So we know what sounds good once it gets to the good stage.
Yeah.
Or we could say, something's wrong with this.
Yeah.
But podcasting made me have to at least have a very real understanding of audio.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, X, I'm gonna name a kid after you.
Man.
A side kid or something.
For real.
But do you touch the individual track outs and like edit those? So if someone's like talking over someone accidentally, are you doing like that like fine detail of editing, or are you just mixing the audio?
Yeah, he's like dubbing, bro. Like if it doesn't make sense, he's kind of like cleaning up certain lines.
Yeah.
I would say you're probably not, right?
Damn,
I've done it. I've done it.
No, I just mean, I
like to think we don't have to most of the time.
I will say this, like, I listen to a lot of podcasts, bro. Y'all podcast sounds great. Like, and I can tell the detail that you put into every single word, you know what I'm saying, in a full, like, episode.
Good cop,
like,
bad cop, right?
Our shit sucks? Are you telling us our shit sucks? Is that what you mean?
I was actually kind of jealous when I heard Caleb's.
That shit sounded great, bro. Like,
and this is before X came on full time, and I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? But
I have a question. Do y'all edit out parts of your podcast? We've gone back and forth on this. If something gets boring, if something like,
We do cut out certain stuff that doesn't like make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or is it just too distracting? Or it's just a moment that just doesn't really resonate?
And
so who makes that call though? Is it y'all two or
it's
is
normally
it the team?
Caleb is normally, if it's a quality thing, we both are kind of on it.
Yeah,
like we'll listen to it. But if it's a controversy thing, Caleb's the smart, level-headed one. And I'm like, fuck it, they can't cancel me. You know what I'm saying? So I think it just depends
love y'all's
on that.
dynamic, bro. I think, when you have co-hosts, it's so important. And I'm not sure how much y'all talk about like what the brand needs to look like, y'all's dynamic needs to look like, or if it's just 100% natural, which is great. I think ours is a lot natural, but we also have been starting to have conversations more about like, what is our thing?
Yeah.
And how are we different?
Yeah.
It's the differences.
And how can we lean into that, right, on camera? Because it's like, people are signing up for me and Henry, like that's what One More Time is right now, to be honest. It's me and him. So like, if you're tapped in, like you clearly at least accept what it is you're signing up for, which is me and Henry at this point, right? So it's like, what is it that we're portraying, right? Like, well, what's our brand, right? Like me and then him and then us together. Like, what's the vibe? What's the dynamic? What are our roles in this shit? You know what I mean? So do y'all talk about that often, or is it just kind of like no-brainer?
It just comes. I'm not gonna say it's a no-brainer. Obviously, we did have to find ourselves as well as podcasters, but it just came from us just being organic and really having like real dialogue about like what we want to bring to what we're doing through Change Agents. You know what I'm saying? That's what it really started with, and through repetitions, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, I mean, 2 years in, you kind of figured out like what works for you, and you figured out how to banter with him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it just helps with the guests. And that's how we built our dynamic too.
Do you feel like noticeably better?
Yeah,
like
100%.
It's
100%.
obviously easier, right?
Yeah, the more shots you take, the better you get.
Oh my God. The craziest, simplest thing,
Yeah.
and we didn't have a conversation, it just happened over time. He brings the podcast in. Like, we used to struggle at the beginning. Who brings it in? Who starts it? Who says their name first? Who says their name at the end? How do we intro guests? How do we take the close out? Like, some of that stuff that you kind of talk about, and then you'll talk about it, you'll try to plan for it, and then we try to do it on camera. You can see you thinking about it, and it fucks it up.
Yeah.
So then we stopped
Yeah.
doing that, and it just kind of became a natural flow.
It started very naturally today. I was like, okay,
It's like,
here we go.
It's like we got our shit down. Like,
Yeah.
we know for a long time, I would sit over there sometimes, he would sit over there. We just have
You
naturally.
guys changed seats?
Yeah.
We're judging you. Fuck, what the hell?
Hey, man.
We like to switch it up.
I stopped wanting to sit on the back of the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me.
They can't say anything back.
So let me ask y'all this, and this will be my last couple questions. This is for each of you guys individually. Who has been your favorite guest or interview?
Said on the drive.
You
over
can't
here.
say
I bet he's
Caleb.
gonna ask.
You can't say Caleb.
I mean,
It's
Caleb
probably not
Seals,
mine
for
anyway.
sure. No, honestly, I think for me, it's probably been, one that's, I'm not sure when this is dropping, but one is Kato on the Track.
Nice.
So he has built an incredible career for himself, a little bit untraditional, right?
Yeah.
So he's a producer that hasn't relied on like big placements and just being on every, big rapper's project, right? Like he has built this, online presence, this social media brand worthy, just content that I think like his story and like his perspectives on business, along with Zeke, honestly, from since the 80s, man. I mean, like what they're doing, like their insights, like him and Barry, I love their dynamic too. Talk about like, almost co-hosts of a label, if you will. Like
Barry, Zeke, hot and cold. It's crazy.
Yin and yang.
It's incredible, right?
Yin and yang.
Yeah, and so I think hearing, Earth Gang and JID are arguably two artists that are operating at like an extremely high level for like their target markets. Exactly. They're on the cusp of being like, super career artists at this point, right? And so hearing Zeke, he's a good friend of mine too. So it's like we've had these conversations off camera, which is a beautiful thing.
Right.
But finally getting him on the show, it was a long time, in the works. But like finally getting him on the show and hearing his perspectives around storytelling and like the way that they really bring their artists' music to life, and just his perspectives on the industry, like those are probably two of my favorites for sure.
Wow.
Just because I think like the way they approach the business side of it, like that's what's most interesting to me. So I don't know what yours are, but
Yeah, I mean, selfishly, I kind of lean toward the producers and the engineers as well.
You lean toward the business people.
Yeah,
Because you relate to the problems.
Yeah,
that
I
they
can
run
kind of
into.
nerd out with them. We have like similarity. Like, you ever EQ something too much and it sounds like shit? Like, just shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's fun. So yeah, Kato, fantastic. I love the Mexico Dro interview. He was great.
That's our biggest interview.
It might be.
That's our biggest interview.
I saw the clips from that. That shit went crazy.
Oh yeah, and it's our biggest. So we've had bigger interviews from like the short form clip side.
Yeah.
But his did really well on short form social media stuff too. But also from a YouTube full podcast views, as well as like the downloads on audio only. It's our biggest.
Yeah.
Nice,
So
nice.
yeah, and man, I was nervous because I don't know if y'all have ever seen a Mexico Joe interview. He's a super reserved, he's a street dude that's been into some shit, and so he's kind of keeps things close to the chest.
Yeah.
But man, when he walked in the studio,
Just the liveliest
we
dude.
knew it was gonna be
Like, it was
amazing because he
yeah.
was like just full of personality. Full of personality. Like he was lit, and it was just an amazing like conversation, man. And I was just so happy of like. Because we were nervous about it.
Yeah.
We were like,
I talk about he goes from a moment where he knocks his cup of Hennessy over on the table and turns it into, that's how passionate I am about this shit. Like, and then Ben and it sets up Ben a cup of Hennessy. Knock that shit over to show you're passionate about your podcast and makes Ben spill a cup of Hennessy himself on purpose. Like, just amazing.
He would have never did it to you, Jack Daniels.
Of course not. Never disrespect Jack.
Yeah, but fuck Hennessy. I mean, I'm just kidding. Hennessy, if y'all want to,
Come on. Me and Hennessy got the same nickname, man. That's that hen dog.
You know where we at. Shout out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
I think, and we do the segment that we're developing. It's called business loans.
Oh.
Ooh.
So business loans is just you giving advice because information is the true currency.
Yeah.
What's your best advice that you would give someone that wants to start this business?
Consistency, man.
Yeah. I go there immediately also.
It's all we can actually. It's the only thing we can point to that's objective.
Yeah.
Everything else is subjective. You like us, you don't like us, you like our interviews, you don't like our interviews. It doesn't fucking matter. You can't argue with how many times we post a day, for how many days in a row, how many interviews we've dropped week after week after week. You can't argue with that. right? And to your point, there's a reason why the content has gotten better over time. It's because of the consistency. So like for me, man, I tell this to artists all the time. I tell this to producers, whether you're making beats consistently, whether you're putting out music consistently, whether you're writing songs consistently, it doesn't matter. Like, you're shooting videos consistently. That's it, man. That's
one of my favorite jokes is, if you don't touch it every day, you don't love it, unless it's your wife.
That's a good one.
I can see why Kayla wants to edit some of your shit out. You know what I mean? It's a little. I mean, he also is probably saving you,
but it's true.
Saving your marriage. You know?
What marriage?
Maybe that's why. I don't know.
You can make these.
No habla inglés.
That's not gonna work.
Harry, did you have anything that you wanted to add to that?
Maybe, I guess it kind of goes hand in hand, but I would say make sure you love this shit.
Yeah.
Make sure you like wake up and that's gonna make you be consistent. Like, make sure you're not doing it because you think it's cool. Because who thinks podcasting is cool?
Dude, it's so lame.
Because you think it'll pay people. Yeah, because you think it'll get you money. You'll become successful. Make sure you enjoy it, and then that will lead to the consistency being way easier.
Yeah, and it's interesting. We thought that. I don't know that we knew we loved it starting out either, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you know?
We got lucky.
It's just like, how do you know, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you don't know.
Try it.
Right? So like, don't be afraid to also pivot. It's like, if you do try something and you're doing it consistently and it's not getting you excited to like do it every day or do it every week,
Stop doing it.
then maybe just try something else, right?
People are scared to pivot.
Yeah.
They really are. They feel like, you have this time investment I put into it. It's okay.
It's okay to pivot.
Yeah, break up with the girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, those conversations.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like, all right, bro.
I feel like you have a relationship metaphor for everything.
I mean, normally it's a Jay-Z bar or so, but maybe it's where I am in life. Okay. Can you respect my safe place?
Sure. Absolutely.
My last question. Who's the dream interview?
Oh man, we talked
You
about
get pick one.
this. We talked about this. I don't know, like, we mentioned it. We mentioned whether we should be getting paid to do interviews. We've also considered paying for guests.
I'm not above that.
Have you guys thought about it?
We haven't done it, but I'm not
Have
above
you thought about it?
We thought about it,
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought about
But
it.
if the first person I pay for, I had a bad joke.
No, let's hear it.
I was gonna say, it's like, one day I'm gonna pay for some pussy. It has to be great, right?
It has to be
so
the best pussy you've ever had.
That's how I feel. Like, the first time I would empty the bank account to interview a short list of people.
Who's yours? Before I answer.
Oh, Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna say Carisha.
I want that on public cameras.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, our platform is definitely targeted at people who are trying to soak up game in the music business, right? So it's people that are trying to learn some shit. Like, if you don't take your shit serious enough to be searching out advice and like hearing people's stories who are doing this shit at the highest level, like, our platform's not for you, right? So
So as great as Kanye would be, I don't know how much he's like teaching people
For sure.
necessarily.
even though like he's got a
I
great
disagree
story.
there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I
I
don't
think
know.
he would actually break it down. And
I think with the right questions, Kanye will tell anybody anything.
And he is a great businessman, obviously. He's built
Sure.
incredible businesses. So I don't know about
It's
that.
certain
but, like,
Kanye interviews, it's certain Jay-Z interviews, then it might be like certain Steve style interviews. It's certain people I go back and watch their interviews because I know I learned from them.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's doing it on purpose to be like this giver or this teacher to the climate. I think he's just so passionate about his work that in the process he'll tell you a million things you need to know about doing whatever it is.
It's on accident.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we look at that, obviously a Jay-Z is a great one, but let's even use someone here in Atlanta that I think is honestly, I don't think it's too far-fetched. I'd love to get either a coach or a P from QC, right?
Shout out QC.
Yeah, I mean, I just look at them as far as like what they've built. I mean, they were valued at what? 300 million?
300 million.
300 million.
They sold at 300 million.
They sold at
Hive
300,
or whatever, bought them for 300 million.
Yeah.
Which means they
More than that.
Is 900.
Yeah,
Yeah,
3x,
still,
exactly, right? So for me, I look at someone like that, right? Because once again, I'm the guy that likes the business people interviews, right? But
Rick
I'm not
Rubin
sure.
and Dr. Dre.
I was gonna say,
See, now that just fucked up my fucking question. I was gonna say, who's your favorite music business like idol person?
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, who's your favorite producer?
Man, Rick Rubin is so sick, bro.
I've met Rick Rubin
No, you haven't.
I've met Rick Rubin.
I'm incredibly jealous of you right
twice.
I didn't know that until now.
Did you feel the
Was there
aura?
like pixie dust coming out of his beard, like wizard vibes?
This is the craziest shit in the world. I met Rick Rubin. He was laying on a couch.
Of course.
In a hotel lobby.
Of course.
Love that.
Why not?
At Noble. He was
at Noble.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't staying there.
Sure.
You know, I just went, you know, when
You
you
were there, though.
When you on the strip.
You were fucking there.
No, see, when you're on the strip, if you're
on the
walking on the back of the
fucking
Miami
strip,
Strip, you could just go in any hotel, like the open parties.
They don't let us in Nobu, bro.
No, you can get in way more places than I can. Like,
Because of... What? Is it?
gotcha.
Let's just bring it full circle. We're white, you're black.
You walked into that one.
Yeah.
You walked into that one.
Yeah.
He did.
But no, he was just on a couch.
So yours, but yeah, he was laying on the couch.
Damn.
And nobody was with him.
Yeah.
Like,
Why
no,
would they?
no girls, no business people, no security, no nothing. He literally just laying on the couch.
Damn.
And like I walked up, when I was walking by, he just stood up. I said, "You're Rick Rubin?" He said, "Yes, I am. Nice to meet you." And kept going.
Oh my God.
And that was it.
amazing.
Like, we have no crazy
That's it.
conversation. I asked for a picture.
That's how I picture my first experience
And
meeting him,
then-
going exactly like that.
And then the second time I met him was...
Second time?
What?
Give us some
I said
of
I met him
these.
twice.
Oh.
I met
Did he
him
say that? I
at
don't
the
think
garden.
so.
I met him at the garden.
Which garden?
It's only one garden.
The Madison Square
That's it.
Garden?
That's
Okay,
it.
I didn't know
I'm
if
a
you were
Knicks
talking
fan,
about
too.
the botanical gardens or like, he's liable to be there.
Could be anywhere.
Meeting Rick Rubin at the Botanical Gardens would be amazing.
He could be at any garden, bro. Let's be honest. Bro.
garden
He could
guy.
be in a yard, like just someone's garden, like a house garden.
Like, just you walk outside
like
and he's
your
working
garden.
in your garden
He's watching.
just because he walked by.
He's picking the tomatoes,
That's
bro.
funny.
Like,
Barefoot and
just
everything.
saying.
So Rick Rubin would be yours.
And Dre.
And who's your favorite business person in music?
Man, I mean,
Ever.
You kind of hit it with Jay-Z, bro. I mean, like, is there anyone better than Hov? Like,
Bro.
because he's an artist too,
Yeah.
and
man.
he's built $1 billion, net worth. It's like,
Yeah.
and he's
he fucks
Beyonce.
He fucks Beyonce
Yeah.
regularly.
I'd probably have more questions about that than I would the business. I don't know.
So you would take the 50,000? What it is, the Jay-Z dinner or
Oh,
Or the million?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, probably not.
Probably not
the
that,
mill,
yeah.
bro.
Me neither. I love Jay-Z, but fuck that. Give me the million.
Yeah.
That's all I got, bro.
Yeah,
This shit's been fun.
Yeah, this has
I've
been
been
a great
cracking jokes all
conversation, man.
day.
I appreciate it, man. It's been good.
Appreciate you having us on,
Yeah,
man.
so,
Thank you, guys.
You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for another episode of Change Agents, man. Again, I'm Caleb.
I'm Trav.
You know what I'm saying? And
Are y'all gonna be mad if we name this the affirmative action episode?
I would just say like we interviewed white podcasters, or something. I don't know.
That's kind of grabbing.
I'm visualizing the character alignment.
It's something about race.
Well, think about it.
Yeah, it's something about race for sure.
Run it by
And that's why you had us on. You said so, like.
Affirmative action.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Affirmative action.
Inclusion.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
PPPs. I'm out.
All right, man. That's Change Agents. We out.
Peace, y'all.
Later.